Hello everyone, I'm Eddie Emmons, the host of tonight's episode of Inside Alice House called A Night at Spookytown Carnival. Before I tell the story, I would like to introduce some of my colleagues here tonight with me. We have the matriarch Alice from the Alice House season and my good old buddy Spencer Bone. I was sitting up at the Graveside Diner one night having some Dahmer ales when Jimmy and Spencer came walking in. They came up to the bar where I was sitting and they each ordered a shot of Ed Gein. Jimmy decided he was going to try their fried kidneys with the Graveside Diner's famous barbecue blood sauce. Spencer then asked me if I was interested in going to the Spookytown Carnival with him and Jimmy. I said, hell yeah! The Spookytown Carnival is open all year round here in Meridian Village. The carnival is one of the main attractions here. The carnival has the Haunted Funhouse, Spill the Blood bottle game, Tip the Tombstone, the Skull Toss, and even the Skull Band that plays all year round. Me, Spencer, and Jimmy finish our drinks and head on over to the carnival. The carnival is a short walk from the Graveside Diner. On our way to the carnival, we pass Cecil. Cecil walks about Meridian Village, promoting the carnival to all the visitors here. We reach the carnival and head right up to the ticket booth and purchase our tickets. Upon entering the carnival, we head straight over to the Haunted Funhouse. The Funhouse is the main attraction of the carnival. This is also where Deidre, Jeff, and Andy reside. We are waiting in line to enter the Funhouse when Spencer and Jimmy start becoming belligerent towards the visitors in line. I look at them both and tell them I'll feed them to Deidre inside the Funhouse if they don't start acting like fools. Deidre was once a promising figure here in Meridian Village. She competed with Alice in the Miss Meridian beauty pageant for years. Then one day, an unknown person unleashed giant tarantulas inside her home, and the tarantulas spun Deidre into a giant spider web, in which she could never escape. After this horrifying experience, Deidre's only option was to work at the Spookytown Carnival as one of the main attractions known as the Spider Lady. After about waiting 15 minutes in line, me, Spencer, and Jimmy are entering the Funhouse. They only let you enter in groups of 4. So me, Spencer, and Jimmy enter the Funhouse and walk down the long hallway. The hallway is illuminated by these dimly lit wall sconces hanging on the walls. At the end of the hallway, there are 3 separate doorways to choose from. Jimmy and Spencer are yelling at me, "Take the one on the left, take the one on the left." So I choose the door on the right. We enter this bare room, and there's this aroma of death in the air. Then out of nowhere, our friends Jeff and Andy rise up out of the floorboards. Jeff and Andy converted over to the afterlife when they were involved in a terrible accident here in Meridian Village, involving the assembly of guillotines. The blade broke away from the rope and cut Jeffrey and Andy almost in half. It was so bad that even Meridian Village's top doctor Joseph from Dr. Tingle's laboratory couldn't save them. Once Jeff and Andy realized it was us, they warned us that Deidre was in a very particular mood and we should avoid her at all costs. Deidre was craving alien meat and Jimmy's face went blank. I told them not to worry, that me and Deidre have quite the understanding of one another. Those tarantulas came from somewhere and she knows it. Once we exit the room, we head to the door on the left. We enter the room and it was assembled like a library. Books everywhere and candles lit the room. Jimmy and Spencer were both saying something about a trap door in this room if we're able to find a certain book written by Leo Anthony. If we find this book, we can bypass Deidre at all costs. Jimmy and Spencer find the book and pull it from the shelf and the trap door opens. We all took off running through this door into a large ballroom where people hung from the walls suspended in the air from spider webbing. We have just entered Deidre's room. Then out of nowhere, Deidre spun down from the ceiling, hissing and growling at Jimmy. Me, Spencer, and Jimmy took off running towards the exit sign. We burst through the door and found ourselves at the back of the funhouse where Klaus was sitting on a bench. Klaus is a guard over at Dr. Frankenstein's castle where they conduct experiments on all walks of life. We asked Klaus what was going on and he said he had to keep track of everyone who made it through the funhouse and who didn't, so he could keep track of the numbers of the deceased. Me, Jimmy, and Spencer are walking around the carnival when Spencer wants to play a game of Spill the Blood. We head on over to the game and Cyrus is running the game. Cyrus is a caretaker at the mausoleum. Cyrus was telling us that Joseph was donating all the blood for this year's game due to the oversupply they had at the laboratory. Spencer walks up and knocks over every bottle of blood and wins his prize. Spencer won a free meat falls off the bone platter from the Witch's Brew Diner. That's Spencer's favorite. Me, Jimmy, and Spencer are walking around the carnival sightseeing the attractions when Joseph from Dr. Tingle's laboratory approaches us. He asked us if we had been to the Abandon All Hope Room and Skullhead attraction. We replied we haven't made it there yet. Joseph insists we should stay away. 7 people didn't make it through, according to Klaus. We told Joseph not to worry, and thanks for the heads up. After all this excitement, Spencer wants to leave the carnival and go get his free meat falls off the bone platter from the Witch's Brew Diner. So myself, Spencer, and Jimmy head on over to the Witch's Brew Diner and cap our night off with some of the Witch's Brew Diner classics, along with some Dahmer ales and shots of Ed Gein. The food arrives at the table and the aroma is mouthwatering. Spencer got his meat falls off the bone platter, Jimmy got the fried phalanges with garlic heart butter, and I got the sauteed thighs with blood wine sauce. Once we finish up these succulent meals, all 3 of us head over to my house to watch the season of the Monsters of Meridian County series by Wild Future Productions. Spencer and Jimmy couldn't stop saying how much fun they had and when can we all go back to the Spookytown Carnival. I told him we'll go back to the carnival when Jimmy gives me and Alice another ride on his spaceship. Jimmy looks over me and smiles and says, "We can go now if you want." I would like to thank my production team here at Wild Future Productions. Myself, Eddie Emmons, Anthony St. John, Leo Anthony, Marie Perry, Tennille Meadowlark, and our newest member, Anthony White. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication for this project. Please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button at the end of the video. This is Wild Future Productions, where your fear begins.